Welcome back to Elkland. I'm Jim Flanagan. You're watching the Gremlins Network. 1 o'clock game just about ready to get underway here. This is the one many fastball fans have had on their calendar or schedule. Make sure they watch and tune in. Clash of the Titans, number 1, New York Gremlins taking on the number 2, Hill United Chiefs. The Chiefs currently 2-0. They won last night 2-1 over a solid AWP Lumberjack team. Picked up their second win this morning, 6-0 over the Pirates. The Gremlins at 1-0 picked up a win just a couple of hours ago, or an hour ago, over that same Pirate team. We're underway here. Batter for the Chiefs, Shane Boland, much the same batting order, more or less, that we saw last night. It'll be Boland, Ezekiel, Nick Shales in the 3 spot. Lenny Vilvaso moves up to the cleanup spot today. Quentin Bruce to follow. Tony Gonzalez, Papilo Lopez getting a start at the designated player. Nick White in right field will bat 8th. And Luci Biondi will do the catching and bat 9th for the Chiefs. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball from Bestgrove. The defense for the Gremlins pretty much the same as the first game, with the exception that Mullins will now do the catching and he'll trade places with Blake Hunter, who will be the DP. The only other defensive change, of course, Jack Bestgrove in to pitch. Daniel Chapman picking up the win in the first game against the Grand Prairie Pirates. Lays off the high one, rise ball up and out of the zone. Bestgrove, the ace of this Gremlin staff. Michael Holobratic will get the start here for the Chiefs. Diaz generally regarded as the ace of the Chiefs staff, but Michael Holobratic certainly capable of beating anybody on a good outing. That one's a hard grounder foul up along the left side. If you're wondering where Jerome Remeke is, if you're a Gremlins fan, that ball hit down to third. He is still on the DL. Turns out a broken bone in that hand. He was hit by a pitch from Marco Diaz up in the Saskatoon tournament, so he's sidelined currently. Filling in very capably is Abelardo Peñuelas. High pop-up, that one's going to be out of play over on the right side. So Ezekiel will step in, second hitter for the Chiefs. Tries to check his swing, but comes around. He did, says our home plate umpire. Scott McLaren behind the plate. Glenn Brown of Washington on the bases. McLaren, of course, from BC. Expect to see him up in that ISC World Tournament next month in Surrey, British Columbia. Swinging a foul tip straight back to the screen. We're up over the first base dugout on the second level. Our view to right field is blocked, so we'll do the best we can with balls hit in that direction. Good hard one right at the knees for a called strike. Ezekiel doesn't argue it. Down on strikes he goes, so 2 outs are recorded quickly by Jack Bestgrove. Bestgrove has been the workhorse in addition to being the ace for the Gremlins staff. He has thrown 67 innings coming into this. The other two mainstays, Osika and Migliavaca, down around 30 innings, give or take. So twice as many innings for Jack. That one's a hard one in for a strike. He's pitched in 12 or 13 games, only started 7 or 8 of those. So used extensively in relief when the situation dictates. He will come in and give you a hard 3 innings if you need it to close out the close games. Both of these teams only 3 losses on the season. We'll talk about that a little bit as the game progresses, but two teams that know each other well, always near the top of the heap, always around come Sunday at the big tournament. Swing and a miss on a rise ball. Down goes Shales. So Bestgrove with a good inning, 1-2-3 for the Chiefs. No runs, no hits, nobody left. To the home half of the first we go. We'll get our first look at the Gremlins in this game. Be right back after this. Home half of the first for the Gremlins. They'll be the home team in this one. Michael Holobradek in the circle doing the pitching. Batting order for the Gremlins in this one, Matthew Waugh will lead things off. Eric Ochoa back in that number 2 spot. We talked about the skipper moving up those 3, 4, 5 hitters with Remeke missing in action on the DL. Benny Noka coming off a home run in the first game. He'll bat third. Cole Evans bats cleanup. Blake Hunter shown as the DP in this one. Lucio Redamar in the 6th spot, Abelardo Pinuelas in the 7th spot, Malarzuk in the 8, and Mullins doing the catching in the 9 spot. That's the way the Gremlins stack up. Defensively, Hill United in the outfield, Quentin Bruce in left, Brad Ezekiel in center, Nick White over in right. Around the infield, the veteran Nick Shales at third, Shane Bolin at short, Lenny Vilvaso at second base, and Tony Gonzalez back over at first base. Doing the catching, Luci Biondi, the youngster. In the circle, Michael Holobradek from the Czech Republic. So counterparts on each of these teams. Kuba Osika over in the Gremlins dugout, not pitching in this one, but both hail from Czechia. First pitch, a good hard one in from Holobradek for a called strike. Holobradek we saw in Prague in 2019, pitching for Czechia in the WBSC World Cup World Championship. Hard one into the hole, 5.5 hole. Matthew Waugh aboard to lead things off for the Gremlins. So Waugh was missing from Ashland and has certainly made his presence felt here. Here's Eric Ochoa. Ochoa started the day with a .446 batting average, 25 hits and 56 at-bats, 22 RBIs, leads the team in homers with 4. 8 walks to go with the 25 hits, and he's added to that tally already today. Double and a single in this morning's game against the Pirates. So that hit count currently at 27. That puts the average right around the 500 mark. Just absolutely amazing. Swinging a foul tip straight back to the screen. He has been locked in since the start of the season. And with Zenon Winters out on the DL, Jerome Remicke out on the DL, a very important part of the offense for the Gremlins. Lifted high into center field, going back out is Ezekiel looking up, and it's gone. Home run, Eric Ochoa. Ezekiel gave chase, but ran out of real estate out there. Matthew Waugh will come around to score, and the Gremlins jump out to a 2-0 lead in the first. So Eric Ochoa adds to the RBI total, adds to the home run lead. He was already at the top of the heap there, now with 5 on the season. And that's got to take him up over the 500 mark batting average-wise. On base percentage, I wouldn't even wager a guess. Here's Benny Noka. Inoka with a home run in this morning's game against the Pirates, straightaway center field. Almost the same spot that Ochoa just hit his. That one's in for a call. Strike, what, at the waist? Ian Mullins leading the team in walks, add a couple of hit batters for Benny, and I think he's been on base more than anybody in the free pass category. There's a hole in the fence out in left center field. I say a hole. There's an opening where you can stand and look in to watch the game. Off in the distance, maybe our camera will pick that up at some point, one of the other teams. Sort of like the knothole kids trying to watch the game for free, but getting a good look at the ball game, and had a pretty good look at that home run by Eric Ochoa. Landing just to their left. Ball off the plate outside. Benny thought about it, but lays off. So the count runs full. Little pop-up down the left field line, giving chase is Shales. Not quite able to get to it down there. Pretty good effort by Nick Shales. Had to go a good distance down there past that tarp that sets on the foul line down there you see on the replay. Foul tip straight back to the screen. Inoka having a pretty good hack at that one. High hopper down to third. Shale's going to hurry, but it's in foul territory. So Inoka will come back and do it again. The Gremlins thus far in the early going, picking up where they left off in the Grand Prairie Pirates game. They racked up 16 runs on the day, everybody in the lineup hitting. Matthew Waugh leading off in this first inning with a single, followed by the home run from Ochoa. We're at the third spot in the order. Hard grounder, Villalvaso over to Gonzalez, 1 out. Watch and see on the replay. Good down ball. Drop ball turns into a ground out. Here's Cole Evans. Evans aboard twice in the earlier game, then gave way to young Tane Mumu, who finished the game at shortstop for him. Rise ball up and out of the strike zone. Cole started the day with a .293 average, 12 hits in 41 at-bats, 9 ribbies and a couple of homers to go with it. Cole is second in slugging percentage on the team. Productive runs. That one's a pop-up in the infield. Gonzalez will fight off the sun and come over and make the catch for out number 2. Bright sunny skies here in Elkland. Temperatures somewhere approaching 80 degrees. They tell me it'll be about 83 or 4 degrees by the end of the day, but we're not quite to that hottest part of the day yet. Very pleasant temperatures to be playing ball under. Here's Blake Hunter. Hunter caught the first game as the designated player in this one. Foul tip straight back to the screen. .77 degrees, so we were pretty much on point. For those of you north of the border, we'll let you make the calculation to Celsius. Fouled up and over the screen. A little hotter predicted for Sunday, Championship Sunday. Those games, though, starting at 9 a.m., 2 at 9, 2 at 11, and the championship game going off at 1 p.m. So it won't hit the hot part of the day till the very end. Ball inside. So the count full on Blake Hunter, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ola Braddock looking for that final out. Just off the plate outside. Ola Braddock looking in, not happy with the call. Second or third pitch that he's questioned, so not earning points from our home plate umpire, Scott McLaren. Hunter down at first base. That's going to bring a visit from skipper Jeff Ellsworth. Just trying to settle him down, make sure he doesn't let that get in the way of the job he's doing. Lucio Redemar, the batter. Redemar second in most or many of the offensive categories for the Gremlins on the season. Comes in with a .360 batting average to start the tournament. 18 hits and 50 at-bats, 14 RBIs, and the 2 big home runs that we've been talking about. 3-run homer over this Hill United team to win the Chiefs challenge in the championship game. And a home run to lead off the first game of the Port Huron tournament. Off of Martin Gonzalez and the Northeast Drillers. That one stood up, 1-0 win. Good hard one in for a called strike. A little extra on that one from Hola Braddock. Taking out a little bit of frustration in the early going. 2 outs in the books, though, so Hola Braddock trying to bear down, get his team back to hitting. Same pitch, a little bit higher. That one in for a called strike. Sometimes you don't get it, sometimes you do. Ground ball out to short. Bolin looks to first, comes back to second just in time to get Blake Hunter. Blake pointing at the bag as if to say, I was there first. He hesitated just for a moment. Watch the replay. Thought about going to first and then better come back to second. Hunter maybe with an argument there. Side retired, though. The Gremlins get a pair on the 2-run homer off the bat of Eric Ochoa. We played one complete. Gremlins on top 2-0. We'll be back with more from the Gremlins Invitational from here in Elkland, Pennsylvania. Top half of the second inning for the Chiefs. They'll send up their 4, 5, and 6. Vilvaso, Bruce, and Gonzalez. Bestgrove setting the first 3 batters of the game down in order in the first. Pop up to first and 2 strikeouts to end the first inning. Vilvaso lays off the rise ball. Vilvaso a spot or 2 lower in the batting order in last night's game, moving up to the cleanup spot. He has cleanup hitter power. Swing and a foul, tip straight back. It was Vilvaso who was responsible for one of the 3 Gremlin losses this year, that coming off of Jack Bestgrove. And despite a 15 strikeout performance by Jack, the Chiefs snuck away with a 1-0 win in that game. A home run coming in the 7th inning. So the 2 teams have met twice this year. The Gremlins winning the first one up in Simcoe, 8-6 on the Redamar homer. And the Chiefs coming away a 1-0 winner in Saskatoon. That one's lifted out into deep left center field. Up and out of here. Home run, Lenny Vilvaso, left center field. Vilvaso, we said, with home run power, and he put it on display there. That cuts the lead in half, now a 2-1 game. That ball sailing out right where the opening in the fence it is. There you see on the replay, up and under it. There's the opening that we talked about, the ball landing right where the other players were standing watching the game. Here's Quentin Bruce. First pitch swinging, that one's fouled out of play on the left side. The Chiefs aggressive at the plate. No point in falling behind in the count if you can help it. Hard one down the line, but it'll be foul and out of play. So 0-2 on Bruce, advantage Jack Besgrove. Fly ball out to the outfield, playable out there. Matthew Waugh catches it in the gap, and Bruce retired for the first out. Not trying to pull the ball, just going the other way with it is Bruce. Put a good charge into it, but run down by Matthew Waugh. Here's Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez and Eric Ochoa of the Gremlins, teammates way back when down in the San Diego, California area. Former members of Team Mexico. Hard one in for a called strike. Good velocity on that pitch from Besgrove. Jack is averaging just shy of 2 strikeouts per inning this season. Little foul up and out of play. A ball and 2 strikes to Tony Gonzalez. 1 out and 1 run in the inning. The homer by Vilvaso. Swing and a miss of the rise ball, but it gets away from Mullins. He'll have to hurry. No chance. The ball thrown down the line. Backed up by Redemar. Ball up out of the strike zone. Watch the replay, you'll see. Gets away from Mullins and aboard is Tony Gonzalez. The pitch out of the strike zone, but Gonzalez winds up at first base nonetheless. Here's Papilo Lopez. Lopez, the DP in this one. First pitch swinging goes back to the screen. So Ochoa and Gonzalez having a bit of a chat over there at first. We talked about them, former teammates from way back when. Eric playing just about even with the bag, just leaving room for Gonzalez to get by, or barely. Foul tip, that one's out of play on the left side. So 0-2 advantage Jack Besgrove. Fly ball out into center field. Inoka's got a beat on it, makes the catch, fires it back into Evans, and Gonzalez will stay put at first base. We talked about a little bit of a breeze, the flag now blowing out from home to the outfield, so maybe a little extra distance on balls that get up into that jet stream. Not a hard wind, but carrying in that direction. Here's Nick White. Ball up and out of the zone. Swing and a miss late on that one is White. The so-called whip stat walks and hits in innings pitched. Besgrove is right around 0.5, which translates to less than 4 base runners a game on average. That one's in for a called strike. Lays off the high one. Shallow center field. Inoka coming on. He says, I've got it, and he does. Fly out to center for the final out of the inning. The Chiefs strike back with one. The big home run off the bat of Lenny Vilvaso. We'll head to the home half of the second inning. Gremlins on top by a 2-1 score. You're watching the Gremlins Invitational from Elkland, Pennsylvania on the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan. I'll be back with more. Home half of the second inning for the Gremlins. Chiefs strike back with a run on the home run from Vilvaso. The Gremlins on top 2-1. Ochoa's home run came with a runner aboard. Matthew Waugh having led off the game with a single. That's where we are right now in the second. 7-8-9, Peñuelas, Malarzuk, and Mullins for the Gremlins. Ball off the plate outside. Peñuelas started the weekend with a .615 batting average. 8 for 13 in his first weekend as a Gremlin in Ashland, Ohio last week. Picked up a handful of hits in this morning's game, so off the charts on the numbers game. Speed, a big asset for Abelardo. He has settled in comfortably with the couple of Gremlins still sidelined on the DL, Winters and Remeke. Swing and miss late on that one from Holobratic. Holobratic helped pitch his team into the championship round in 2019 at that WBSC World Championship. Foul tip straight back to the screen. Rise ball way up and out of the strike zone. Three balls and 2 strikes. Holobratic with 1 walk in that first inning to Hunter. Hard grounder right at Bolin on a knee. Doesn't even get up to make the throw. Fires to Gonzalez. 6-3 on the putout, even with the speed. Watch the replay on this one. Just went the other way with it. The ball was down. Turns into a ground out. 1 out recorded. Malar Zook, the batter for the Gremlins. Laced down the line. Just foul. Just missed. We talked a little bit last night watching broadcasting the Chiefs game about the different defensive alignments that they use at short and third. Shale's playing a little more conventional towards the line in this one. Sometimes you'll go out and play almost shortstop in that 5.5 hole, and Bolin will move out towards the second base bag. Right now, straight away. Foul tip straight back, just missed that one. Just inside. Holobratic letting his displeasure be known. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You'll see the pitch. Close. Hard one down to third. Glove by Shales. Up with it. Over to Gonzalez for the out. So a couple of ground outs, too easy for the Chiefs here in the second. And to the 9 spot we go. Nick Mullins, the batter. Mullins leading the team with 14 walks to go with his 8 hits. He's been aboard half the time. .479 on base percentage to be precise. Ball high. Foul tip straight back to the screen. Just missed that one. Mullins and Ochoa will be among the USA national team members at the Group C, the third qualifier to be held in Oklahoma City in September. They'll face the likes of Japan and Guatemala and others. Tries to check his swing. They appeal the call, and no. So 1-2 count. 2-2 count. Swing and a miss, and Mullins down on strikes. Easy inning for Michael Holobratic. 2 ground outs and a strikeout for the Gremlins. No runs, no hits, no one left. We played 2 complete. The score, New York Gremlins on top, 2-1. You're watching the Gremlins Invitational from the Dirk Sherman Memorial Complex here in Elkland, Pennsylvania. We'll be back with more. 9-1-2 in the batting order for the Chiefs in the third, top of the third. Lucci Biondi, the catcher, will start things off, and then back to the top of the shop to Shane Bolin and Brad Ezekiel. Shales would follow if we get that far. Second of 3 games on the day for these Gremlins. Picked up a big win over the Grand Prairie Pirates, a run rule victory, 16-1 in the opener. They will take on the Lumberjacks tonight at 5. Bunt is down, but it's foul. Pretty good speed for a young catcher coming out of the box. No substitute for young legs. Lucci Biondi showing some good wheels getting down that line. Popped up in the infield. It'll be Cole Evans backing up to the edge of the grass, fights off the sun, and makes the catch for the first out. Biondi almost running up into the batter's box, up on his toe as he hit that ball, trying to get a running start. Here's Shane Bolin, popped out to Ochoa his first time up. If you're keeping score with us at home. 6-3 put out, another assist for Evans. Just a final note on the scorecard. Bolin popped up to Ochoa in that first at-bat. We were blocked out. Missed that call, so 0 for 2 on the day for Bolin. It'll be Brad Ezekiel at the plate now. Ezekiel 0 for 1, a strikeout looking his first at-bat against Bestgrove. Wig wagging the bat up around his head. Home run power in this part of the batting order. Ezekiel, Shales, and Vilvaso, all Ezekiel among the best. Hard one down Main Street, just off the plate though. Good hard drop over the outside edge, in for a called strike. Great location. Mullins and Bestgrove looking very comfortable as the battery for the Gremlins right now. Great location set on that last pitch by Mullins. There it is again. Nibble around the edges, just missed. So 3-1 on Ezekiel. Two quick outs to start the inning. 4 batters retired in a row now. Lifted out into right field. Redemar going back, looking up, and makes the catch right up against the fence at the warning track. Played beautifully by Redemar. You could see the sun reflecting off his sunglasses as he went back, but he had a beat on it the whole way. Ezekiel just missed with that one. So 3 up and down for the Chiefs. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. To the home half of the third we go. Still 2-1, Gremlins on top. Home half of the third for the Gremlins, and back to the top of the order we go. Matthew Waugh, Eric Ochoa, and Ben Inoka. It was Wah and Ochoa coming around to score the 2 runs in the first. Wah led off the game with a single to left, followed by the homer to center off the bat of Ochoa. That's the margin of victory right now. Skipper Greg Leather over in the third base box. Coach Greg Hicks over on the first base side right below us. We're right on top of the Hill United dugout on the first base side. Ball low downstairs. So we talked about these two teams handing each other 1 loss. So this is the proverbial rubber match. The only other 2 games the Gremlins have lost were in Saskatoon. 1 to the New Zealand Black Sox. And the other, as we said, to the Chiefs. Those a little different lineup for the Gremlins. They were missing 4 starters with all of the New Zealand crew. Remeke, Evans, Inoka, Mumu, all playing for the Black Sox. And then the third loss last weekend, championship game, close 2-1 game, lost to the Northeast Drillers. Laced to center field, base hit for Wah. And he's aboard once again with a leadoff single. So the spark that makes the offense go for the Gremlins back in action after missing the Ashland tournament. And he's making the most of it. Here's Eric Ochoa. Ball off the plate. We talked about the average, but the on-base percentage north of the 500 mark. Slugging percentage north of 750. Doing everything the Gremlins have asked of him and more this season. High pop-up out of play left side. Wah, a veteran over at first, but still runs well. Sometimes they say need a bigger stop sign with him. He gets going, he'll keep on going with his eyes on that plate. Ball high, Biondi up, ready to make a throw. Wah stays put. With Ochoa at the plate, the defensive alignment we talked about, Shales over in the 5.5 hole, and Bolin now shaded almost to the second base bag. Laced to left center field. He's got another home run, Eric Ochoa. Deja vu all over again. Wah leads off with a single. Ochoa follows with a home run. 4-1 New York Gremlins. Running out of things to say about Eric Ochoa offensively this year. He has just been in a world of his own. 4 big RBIs in this game. 2-run homer in the first, 2-run homer in the third. Carbon copy. So Benny Noka right at the plate now. Ground out to second. First pitch swinging. That one's going to be up and out of play on the right side. Two pools of teams in this tournament, so The lower seeds will square off at 9 a.m. tomorrow in the championship round. The top team out of each of the pools will draw a first-round bye and play the winner of the 9 a.m. game at 11. That one's off of Lenny Vilvaso. Hard hit ball by Inoka, and Vilvaso might be hurt. He's down. They're going to go out and take a look at him. Looked like it might have caught him on the wrist. Just took a hard hop. There you see it on the replay. Not able to come up with it, but very hard hit ball. So Inoka aboard. We'll take a moment while they tend to the injury. Jeff Ellsworth and others out there, the trainer, going to take a look, make sure Lenny's okay. A big part of that Chiefs offense. Can't afford to be without him. Maybe get another look on that replay, Luciano. Yeah, maybe in the trying to come up with the ball. I think he was holding his wrist, though, or it might have caught him on the forearm. Bone bruises can be painful. I hear Jerome Remicky telling me from a distance he can relate. Jerome out with a broken bone, getting treatment for that, hoping that the Gremlins will see him down the stretch come August. Most broken bones take about 6 weeks to heal. They've got him on an expedited program, so apparently not displaced on the fracture, so hoping we'll see him back for the big ones next month. Perhaps the USA National and ISC World Tournament to follow that one. Hard one outside, though, downstairs. Evans lays off. So 3 straight hits for the Gremlins here in the third. Waugh leading it off with another single to left, his second. Ochoa, another homer to center, his second. Rise ball way up and out of the zone. Lays off that one, so 3 balls and a strike. No one that we can see up throwing on the sideline for the Chiefs. Ball away, and Cole Evans works the walk. Inoka down to second, and Hunter will be the batter. Second free pass of the game issued by Hola Braddock. It was Hunter last time that walked in the first. Swing and a miss late on that one. Good drop ball by Hola Braddock. Swing and a miss late on that one again is Hunter. Good velocity from Hola Braddock. Better location with that rise ball. A number of them have been up and out of the strike zone entirely. That one starting at the letters and moving on up. Downstairs, a hard one, but away. Lifted it into deep center field, going back towards the fence, and goodbye. Blake Hunter, 3-run homer off the roof beyond the fence in left field. Tattoos that one. The ball was up in the zone. We'll catch it on the replay, but Blake Hunter got all of that one. Yeah, ball's up, and Hunter says he'll help himself to that one. Look where the location on that one is. A twist, turn, and got everything behind that one. There's a metal roof out beyond the fence in left field, and that'll be all for Holobratic. Ramon Godoy will come on to pitch. So close the book on Holobratic. Blake Hunter, punctuation mark on the inning. 2-run homer by Ochoa, 3-run homer by Hunter, 5 in the inning to go with 2. Gremlins on top 7-1. So Ramon Godoy coming on in relief of Michael Holobratic. Holobratic surrendering 3 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. Still looking for an out here in the 3rd are the Chiefs. 4 RBIs on the day for Eric Ochoa with a pair of 2-run homers. 3 RBI on the day for Blake Hunter with that blast that just sent Holobratic to the bench. Ramon Godoy, the Argentine, will see what he can do if he has any better luck with this Gremlin team. They have been on fire since the morning game, 16-1 winners over the Pirates. Now with a big lead over their arch rival, Hill United Chiefs. Lucio Redemar steps in. And Godoy with a first pitch strike. Pop up, that one's going to be out of play over on the left side. Godoy, a member of the Argentine national team, like Holobratic, he was in Prague. Big year for Argentina winning that. Ground ball up the middle for a base hit. And the hit parade just continuing for the Gremlins. 5th hit of the inning. It'll be the youngster Abelardo Peñuelas to bat. Peñuelas grounded out to Boland at short. His first time up, that of course against Holobratic. His first look at Ramon Godoy. Hard ground ball. That one finds the hole past Boland. Around second, on his way to third is Lucio Redemar, so good speed on either corner. Peñuelas pressing Eric Ochoa for that lead at the top of the average and hit category. Needs a few more for the minimum at-bats, but he's on his way. Youngster just continues to hit, making himself right at home here on the New York Gremlins. Here's Ladislao Malarczuk. Laced to center field over the head of Ezekiel, off his glove as he goes back. Coming in to score, Redemar right behind him. Nifty slide, hits the plate with his hand is Peñuelas on the big double off the bat of Malarczuk. Looked like the ball was going to be completely over the head of Ezekiel. He did get back, you see on the replay, enough to reach and get a glove on it, but the ball carried. So Malarczuk winds up at second on the double with 2 RBI. Here's Nick Mullins. Mullins a strikeout victim, his first time to the plate swinging, that coming against Hole Braddock. So in the inning, Ochoa with 2 ribbies, Hunter 3 on the homer, and now Malarchuk 2 on the double. Laced down the line, and that's going to be in the corner. Mullins takes a big turn, hangs on, but coming around to score from second is Malarchuk, and Nick Mullins joins the hit club. That one right down the chalk line at third. So Matthew Waugh, a.k.a. Roy Matthews, I'm told. Back at the plate, he's 2 for 2 on the day. Led off the first with a single and scored. Led off this inning with a single and scored. Back for his second at-bat of the inning. There goes the scorecard. Grounder to short, Bolin backs up, throws to second, gets the force. Good defensive play by Shane Bolin, staying with it. Had to go deep in the hole to make the play. Gets Mullins on the force out. Waugh with better speed, probably the tougher out. That the first out of the inning, believe it or not. Here's Ochoa once again. Looks at a ball on the outside edge for a strike. So Waugh over at first base now on that fielder's choice. Third time he's reached. In for a called strike. So Godoy taking notes of Ochoa's earlier at-bats, trying to look for a different location. Lifted out into deep left field, but it's going to be foul. The pitch before Ochoa's last home run, much the same. It was a foul ball off to the left side. Looked like he was just fighting it off, just wanted to make some contact. We'll see if he can zero in on the next one. Foul ball lined over here to the right side. It's a colorful spray chart on Ochoa. Last 2 pitches goes way to the left, then way to the right. Home plate umpire Scott McLaren running down some more softballs, I think. So 0-2 on Ochoa. Ball way up and out of the zone. Waste pitch, Ochoa does not chase. Laced to center field or not. Bolin knocks it down. Flips to second and then back to first comes Vilvaso. Don't know how he got a glove on that one. Speared it. Made the out at second base. Great defense, Shane Bolin. Had the sense of mind not only to stay with the ball, but to come up with a throw to get the force out over to Vilvaso, who's right where he needed to be. Ochoa on the fielder's choice now at first. Here's Benny Noka. So second out of the inning. Lifted into deep center field. Goodbye. Home run, Benny Noka. Left center field. 2-run homer brings in Ochoa. And Inoka, second home run of the day for him. He had one this morning in the first game. You see Onoka go down for that one, just lifts it up and out of here. Inoka's swing today looking like the one he had on the last day of last year's ISC World when he had the 8 RBI performance. He's lifting the ball now, getting the hips moving and getting the whole body into the ball. Cole Evans 0 for 1, popped out to first, walked and scored earlier this inning. Hard to believe it's still the same inning. Gremlins scoring 16 runs in their first game against the Pirates. Now a dirty dozen against the Chiefs. "28 runs on the day for Greg Leather's crew. Hard one misses off the plate. Hard one in at the knees. Good location by Godoy. Fly ball to right field without moving a step over there is Nick White. Camps under it to make the catch for out number 3. But more damage on the board in a big third inning for the Gremlins. 12 runs now on 10 hits. The Chiefs still with 1-on-1 hit. We'll be back with more from Elkland, Pennsylvania right after this. Top of the 4th inning, the Chiefs try and climb back in this one. Last time we saw Jack Besgrove in the circle, he was protecting a 2-1 lead. Lenny Vilvaso had homered for the Chiefs. That cut into the 2-run lead that they had that the Gremlins had at the time off Ochoa's first homer until the 10-hit, 10-run inning by the Gremlins. 3-4-5 for the Chiefs. Shales to start it off. First pitch swinging, and that one's right on by him. Vilvaso, the home run hitter in this game, on deck to be followed by Quentin Bruce. They always say the key to not getting beaten by the good teams is don't give them a big inning. And that was an uncharacteristic one for the Chiefs. Swing and a miss, hard one from Besgrove. It's kind of funny when we talk about rankings of teams, a lot of times you ask other teams below the 1 and 2 spot, who have they beaten? Who of the ranked teams have they had success against? Swing and a miss, down on strikes goes Nick Shales. With those at the very top of the heap, and I mean the Gremlins and the Chiefs, the discussion very often cuts right to the chase. Who have you lost to in the very few losses that you've suffered? And these two teams very much mirror images of each other's records. Up to this point, each have lost 3 games. Both teams lost to the New Zealand Black Sox in Saskatoon. Both teams have defeated each other once, and both teams have lost one other game to a high-ranked opponent. The Gremlins lost to the current number 3 team, Northeast Drillers, 2-1 last week. And the Chiefs lost one game to number 4 ranked Bear Creek. Meanwhile, Vilvaso hit by a pitch, so he's aboard. Here's Quentin Bruce, had a pretty good at-bat, first time up against Bestgrove. Flied out to left on a line drive. First pitch swinging, fouled over on the left side. Bruce runs well for a big fellow. Chiefs right now just looking to put some men on base, try and pick up a handful of runs and do it a little bit at a time. Misses downstairs. Little change up, floats that one in, a beauty. Just when you're ready for the hard stuff, in comes the floater. So a ball and 2 strikes on Quentin Bruce. Advantage Jack Bestgrove. Misses away with that one, 2-2. In other situations, we might be thinking about Vilvaso running, but station to station at this point, just trying to get on base and move up around the bases. Not going to give away any outs. Big swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Bruce. Had a pretty good hack at it. Second strikeout in the inning. 4 on the day for Bestgrove. We become accustomed almost to the double-digit performances. Thus far, just 4. Consider the opponent, of course. Gonzalez himself struck out initially on the first at-bat, but the ball got away, went to the screen. Tony hustled down and reached first on it. Hard one on the outside edge. Like to see a radar reading on that one. Hardest pitch we've seen from Bestgrove. He will surprise you. He will surprise the hitters sometimes and really turn that dial up. That was one. Swing and a miss. There's another. Down on strikes goes Gonzalez. 3 strikeouts in the inning. 5 now in the game for Jack Bestgrove. Final score here, 12-1. New York Gremlins over the Hill United Chiefs. So the Gremlins now 2-0. The Chiefs fall to 2-1. They have completed their pool play games. The Gremlins will come back at 5 p.m. this evening. The Gremlins 12 runs on 10 hits. The Chiefs 1 on just 1 hit. That being, of course, the home run by Vilvaso. Lost in a sea of runs from the Gremlins. Eric Ochoa, 2 big home runs, 4 RBI. Blake Hunter, home run, 3 RBI. Everybody getting into the act today. Benny Unoka, another home run, 2 for the day. 1 in each of their games thus far. Stella's got her groove, and Benny has his right now. He is in a zone. We'll come back at 5 o'clock with another broadcast. Happy to have you with us for the first 2 here. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of hours. 5 p.m., that'll be the number 1 ranked New York Gremlins taking on the number 8 ranked AWP Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks gave the Chiefs all they could handle last night. Chiefs squeezing out a 2-1 win. So the Gremlins will be back and ready. For Softball Premier TV, Luciano Lofrano, and all the crew of the Gremlins Network, I'm Jim Flanagan. We'll see you at 5 p.m. from the Dirk Sherman Memorial Complex in Elkland, Pennsylvania. You've been watching the Gremlins Network. So long.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a premier member at softballpremiertv.com. Live it!